a question, not just for you guys, but also for the people in the chat, because I was talking to one of my patrons yesterday, and he was saying that he helps out a lot of friends with their setups, and he tries to talk them out of going with sound bars, and he has trouble finding, reasonably priced
alternative
setups. And then we got to talking about, like I was just saying, HDMI. The good thing about soundbars is it's so easy. You just plug an HDMI cable into it, you power it, and that's why people love them, because it's so easy. So I started looking for HDMI speakers, and there's really not many of them that aren't less than $500. Like, so there's the ELAC one that I know of, and that's $599, I think. There's Klipsch The Fives, which are $5 or $6, somewhere in that ballpark. I don't remember exactly. And then there's other ones on Amazon, but they're all $500, $600, $700, $800. They're more than $500 by a long shot. So I don't know. I can't think of any other ones. I'm curious if anybody has any suggestions. There's the SVS one, but that's $800, I think, or $9.
Yeah. Let's see here.
I'm just thinking if they've got sound bars.
Okay, so
they have speakers for like $300 or $400.
So I actually have this this product that takes HDMI, and it's HDMI ARC. I'm not sure if it's ARC or eARC, and then it just has two RCA outs.
Yeah.
So you can change the volume, and it'll change the volume on that device, and then you can connect a small Class D amp and any passive speakers that you want. So I'm not sure how much that's going for, but I do see some on Amazon, and I'm not sure that they are.
Well, so SBS
I'm not sure if I can even talk about the product that I have. That's why.
Right. So there, and it's similar to what you're saying, but what Alan and I were talking about was just, it's the simplicity, right? Like people choose sound bars. My mom bought a sound bar because you can go to Walmart, you can buy it, you bring it home, you hook up HDMI cable to it, and then you plug power in, and that's it. Like you don't have to do anything else.
This has a HDMI in ARC.
Yeah, yeah. And those are what, $8.99 he says?
Oh damn. Oh yeah, I guess
that's the problem is all the ones that I'm seeing are over $500. And I don't think I've seen any that are less than $500. The Klipsch The Fives and the ELACs are the closest to that $500 range. I just can't think of any other ones.
Yeah, so the tricky thing here is they have HDMI audio extractors, but I don't know that any of these actually change the volume, how ARC is supposed to.
Right. Well, that's not ARC. That's actually not ARC, Joe. That's CEC.
Okay, CEC, sorry. So is that not related in some weird way?
I mean, you have to have CEC on for ARC to work in most AV receivers, but you can turn CEC off because some people don't want that.
Okay.
Don't want if you turn on the TV, it'll turn on the AVR. Some people don't want that. So you can turn it off.
But anyway, the product that I have does use that CEC, so you see the volume control on the TV go up, and it's also changing the volume on the external speaker amp,
Right.
It's doing all that. So these audio extractors, though, they'll just take the HDMI in and then they'll give you RCA out, but you need something to control the volume. And that's where it gets a little bit tricky if you're going to hook up an external amplifier. And so you can get something like those SMSL AD18. I forgot the names of them, but they're maybe $150, and they have their own remote. And you can control the volume on the amplifier itself. So you can hook up your own speakers, have your own amplifier. Oh yes, what is that? Leftovers?
It's a samosa. I brought my mom packed me up a whole bunch of food to take home.
You didn't bring enough for everybody else.
It's a samosa, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can handle this, man. Spicy.
I like how you said "mine."
Hey, mine.
You checked those seat, cuz.
Hungry.
Here's a thing about the soundbar thing too, is in the bedroom we have an OLED there, and we only really watch, like the kids watch the cartoons, we don't use it all very much. So we had a mono price soundbar there, and it was fine. Nobody ever complained. I never felt like, I need to have something better here. But I did have those ELAC connects, and I'm like, man, it's kind of messed up that I'm not using these because they have HDMI. So I got some speaker stand, like those wall mounts for them, and hooked it up HDMI. And yeah, it sounds better. It sounds better for sure. But it's not like, oh, my experience is so different now. You know, in that particular situation, the soundbar is fine.
Right. Yeah.
So just a matter of use case.
I don't have an issue with sound bars. It's just, you know, what are there any stereo options that would replace a sound bar that aren't less than, or that aren't more than $500? And I just couldn't find it.
I don't think so. Gosh. I don't think so. $500? That's kind of tough.
Yeah. Kind of surprised.
Yeah. Kind of have to just make it yourself. You know who could make one that would probably be a hit is that Numi. If you were able to just throw HDMI on there, I think it's the license for HDMI that costs a lot, though. Yeah,
that's what I was going to say. Is it? That's what I was going to ask. Is it that? You know, I don't know about the inner workings of all that, but I could see that being the issue.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if they have to start doing stuff with like licensing with Dolby, you know, to take their signal and down. I don't know. I have no idea. But I know that there's an extra cost if you want to go HDMI, and that's why a lot of companies don't do it. But more and more people are doing it now.
Yeah.
Before it was just Klipsch The Fives, and that was it.
It's getting more popular.
Yeah. You know what would be good is if these small Class D amps started to implement it.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
And NAD has had it for a while, but that 3020, I think it was, NAD 3020 wasn't cheap either. Like over $600, I think.
Anyway, after every Monday podcast, we have an after show. If you're interested in joining us, go to patreon.com/Daily HiFi.